You can sleep. Side hand, I'll be that too. Because chicks are young and this chick is old. So I'll be the side hand. Thank you, Reggie, for correcting her. I will be the side chick. The mistress, the side chick, the hand. It's whatever. I mean, name calling is what y'all do. That's
Hey Bougie Gang, how are you? What's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Ooh, okay, wait a second. Okay. I was like, wait a second. What happened to my avatar? What's going on? Okay. Nikki, GA, my Tony, Honey Say That. Is anybody still eating lunch? Dancing with it? I'm just warming up some food. What's today? Tuesday? This was my food from Sunday. I didn't eat it yesterday. What did I eat yesterday? I ate part of it yesterday, but it was a lot. So, what did we have as appetizers? Oh, we went to I ate part of it yesterday, and then we went to Maggiano's Sunday afternoon. It was good. Oh, you're eating Chipotle? Chipotle is good. Does anyone eat Qdoba? I feel like I like Qdoba more than I like Chipotle. Okay, guys, there's a lot going on, but you guys were asking in the comments and in my DMs about Nestos next court date. I feel like I posted it, so nothing has changed. You guys know as soon as something changes, I will let you guys know, but I don't have any news. I feel like someone that there's some news out there. I can't substantiate. All I know is what's on the docket, and it says 4:15. Now, okay, so let's just jump right into it. So on Nesto's docket for all of his cases, it says a date of 4:15. Remember we talked about that? It's tax day, right? Um, and it said trial. I mean, they haven't even finished the pretrial. We've talked about this like a few times. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know because they have to kind of reconvene and I guess discuss the fact that the judge didn't even submit the damn certificate of immediate review in a timely manner. And then furthermore, once it wasn't going anywhere. So once we like, okay, so I feel like I'm repeating myself, but for those of you who don't know, Ernest Williams has a RICO case. Okay. Ernest Williams' attorney was going to, or Ernest Williams' attorney was contesting some particular evidence trying to come in, and they were trying to have it suppressed, and a lot of things have happened over the last year. Finally, the judge came back and made a decision after many arguments that he was denying the motion to suppress, so the evidence was going to come in. He was to issue a certificate of immediate review, so that the appeals court, the next level up, could review as a kind of courtesy, because this is like an integral part of his case. Anyway, long story short, the judge is supposed to issue the immediate certificate of review within 10 days, and that was not done. We noticed that from the beginning because I didn't really know what the procedure was or what it entailed. We looked it up, and noticeably there were problems from the beginning, and it was issued about 25, 26 days later, right? And from that day when it was issued, Hoover didn't issue it for months with an S. Okay. So once it was issued, it had to be reissued, and it was reissued. The application was finally done, and the appeal court rejected it because it was not timely, period. It wasn't timely all the way around. It just wasn't timely. The judge didn't issue it timely. The attorney for the defendant did not issue it timely, and it's dead in the water. So have there been discussions about that? We don't know, right? And then furthermore, there's still other open motions. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they could have those motions closed at the end of court on that day. It just depends on what Judge Dunaway is inclined to do and what the prosecutors are inclined to do now, or the prosecutor and the defense attorney. So we don't really know. I mean, I guess we're just going to have to see what happens on 415. I don't know. The man is not going anywhere anytime soon. So that's one thing I think is probably for sure, but girl, we don't know. Do you think he'll get off on a technicality? The whole case has been a shit show. I don't know if the whole case has been a shit show. I think the whole case seems like a shit show because we've been listening to his jail calls for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? I think that if you watch court TV and you're watching a docket as much as we've been watching his docket, plus jail calls, it would probably be a shit show, right? But dates on a docket being canceled and changed is nothing new. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that there's anything going on. It just means that they're not calling that case, or the prosecutor could be sick, or maybe something happened, like the grand jury went ahead and indicted it, so they didn't need to meet. They're doing something else, or there's a more priority to the docket and something gets bumped. Do you know what I mean? Like, cases get bumped and things get rescheduled. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with the case. It's just priorities. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I know it's been a shit show for us because we are with the shits. Okay. It's a shit show for us because we're with the shits, but I don't know that it's a complete shit show. You know, I think we're watching the docket. You know what I mean? In all fairness, I think we're watching the docket, and the docket is doing what the docket does. You know, people make mistakes. It is incredible that the judge was so adamant about, whomever gets the decision, if it goes opposing for either party, I will issue a certificate of immediate response. And immediately he did not submit it. It's an immediate response for a reason. And the immediate response has to be filed within 10 days. The fact that a superior court judge in, the state of Georgia doesn't know the parameters, or his judicial assistant didn't say, you know what, judges need to be submitted within 10 days. Let's go ahead and get this out. Like there's no admin, there's no judicial assistant to remind him that there's something pressing that needs to be submitted, because rest assured, the judge has a whole team. Why something that has a time limit was not submitted timely is absolutely bizarre, but not my courtroom. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like it does feel like a shit show because we've been listening to the calls. We know that Ernest is problematic. We know that Sonia is problematic. Um, they call in people from jail calls. You know what I mean? Like if you guys watch court, you know what I'm saying? We all watch court and cases, and they bring in people all the time. You know what I mean? Like look at the David case. They've got his best friend in there. You know what I mean? Like when you think about it, this some stuff that's going on with this case, it happens with other cases. You know what I mean? Um I think Nesto and Sonia would like to think that they're different and it's him and it's all bad and all of the things. I think that there's lots of cases that have lots of intricacies and nuances, and they're not this it's not unique. You know what I mean? There's cases going on for years, years and years and years. Um Now they might be murder cases and things like that, but there's cases where it's taking damn near a decade. So I don't know. I don't think no. So to answer your question, T baby, do you think he'll get off on a technicality? No. What would be? I would like to know maybe what you think a technicality would be. The technicality that he was hoping for was the fact that he was hoping to have that evidence thrown out, and that's not going to happen. So I don't know what other technicality. I'm not sure. If you guys think of a technicality, let me know. But I don't know. Like off the top of my head, I don't know any other technicalities. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't think of any other ones. I think that, he's been so let me tell you guys. So there's this woman. I wasn't prepared to show you. Well, so there's this other case. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it, but not really go in depth. But I mentioned it this morning in my other live. There's this woman who she's got so many damn cases. She's been arrested like 14 times since January. And she's been scamming in South Carolina. And they've turned the case over to the attorney general. Not that that means like, ooh, it's the attorney general, but it does sound like a bunch of petty cases that they're going to turn into something because they feel like, I guess it's enough of a problem and it's hit the benchmark that it's enough of a problem. So they want to bring some sort of state charges on her, and because she's been scamming all over the state. So I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to try and do a state RICO on her? Girl, I don't know. But I'm just saying, Nesto's been a problem. Um, and he's got very serious charges. I don't know what technicality it could be, but it'd be interesting to find out. But we'll see if the 415. Thank you, Fran Drew. Thank you so much. Um, if for some reason the date gets canceled on the 15th, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but it's like, what else is new? It wouldn't surprise me, right? It wouldn't surprise me if something gets changed, but I would think at this point they need to have some sort of a status conference and figure out, okay, where are we? Because it's it's by the time they get into court on April 15th, we're at the beginning of the second quarter, a whole year later. And it's looking like They haven't been in court for 8 months. The last time they were in court, it was the end of the summer. It was August, right? It was August. September, October, November, December. Yeah. Now it's getting ready to be April. It's going to be 8 months since the last time he was in court. And the certificate of immediate review debacle, you know, I think that is something that they can review upon appeal, and that's providing he gets convicted. That he didn't have an opportunity to appeal that decision prior because the judge, but also just because the judge screwed up and didn't submit it timely, you also have to, the second tier is proving that had it been submitted and it had an opportunity to be reviewed, the potential outcome would have made a difference. If they review that, let's say he's convicted in the future, right? Let's say, because I'm sure someone's gonna be like, you don't know. So let's, in the future, let's say that there is a conviction of Mr. Ernest Williams, and he feels like the fact that he didn't get an opportunity for his denial for the motion to suppress to be adequately reviewed, they would have to be able to, the appeals court is going to look at it. And if they say, well, you know what, had we gotten it, we really wouldn't have made a different decision. The outcome wouldn't have been any different. The outcome in this was nothing because we couldn't review it because it wasn't timely. But now, post conviction, in the event there is one, I want to keep saying that because these people seem to think that everybody has them convicted already, him convicted rather. If in fact sir is convicted, the appeals court would have to agree that maybe there would have been a different outcome. But if the appeals court reviews it and says, number one, the outcome wouldn't have been different, and we reviewed it, and no, it would have been upheld anyway, so no difference. It's a nothing. It's a nothing. You know what I mean? Just because it wasn't submitted timely and he didn't get an adequate review doesn't mean that we would be under a different set of circumstances. It still could have been denied. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's just my take on that. So I don't know. You guys, if you feel differently on that, he technically is, his technicality is bony macaroni. Well, but that's not the fault of the state. That's not going to get him off. They're not, you know what I'm saying? I know you're joking, but what I'm saying is this. I don't think that that will get him off bony macaroni. I think that will get him a cell. Okay. So, couple of things before we get started. A couple of you guys, there's a video going around right now. The girls who got into the argument at McDonald's in Atlanta. Two of you guys have sent me that. Wanted us to like take a look at it and said, please follow up. So I don't know what you meant by that. Like, please follow up. I guess maybe just you wanted me to look at the video or wanted us to look at it as, do a reaction on it, which I did look up the case. I did find her information. I did find how it was adjudicated and all of the things. So I did get some research in and all of the things. So we'll do that next time. I just felt like we were really overdue to look at these little Nesto videos that we hadn't taken a look at and, get y'all's ear. Let's see. You made it in time. And you know what? Even if you don't make it quote unquote on time, first of all, it's always the replay. Oh, replay is always there. Because it's just replay is always available. I was trying to be nosy and find a hearing. Now I did, so a couple open items from, I guess, the past couple weeks. I think 2 weeks ago, we were looking at the guy, Darren Lee, the football player. If you guys, the one who was consulting Chat GPT on what to do with the girlfriend, if you still want to look at that preliminary hearing, let me know and we'll take a look at that. So I am I have that lined up, but we're going to get into these Nesto videos today, but if you guys want to get into those, let me know. Thank you JMM for gifting a friend. That's so sweet. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for gifting a friend. Let me open my monitor. Let's see. We're going to get into let me open this. Okay. Who got a membership? Is it Tracy Mason? Is it Tracy Mason? Tracy Mason, you just got a membership? What? Tracy membership. I mean, Tracy, Tracy Mason, you just got a membership. Okay. We're doing good, Niner girl. Thank you, boo. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm going to send, let me put a notification up because y'all notificate. It's been like a month or so where I just feel like, y'all, what's going on with the notifications? All right, let me make sure this is saved in my watch later. All right. Let me send a quick, we live, y'all. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, guys, let's get into this video. This was pretty funny. So, I guess we're going to see how things go. When is court? Court is going to be today's Tuesday. So 1, 2, 3. So, Nesto has court 3 weeks from tomorrow. Is it happening? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out when we find out. If they update the doc, as soon as they update the docket, I'll let you guys know. If, my opinion, I think they at least need to have some sort of an update because at the end of the day, this guy is coming on 4 years and it has literally been 8 months almost. It's been 7, right? But it's coming up on 8 months that he hasn't been in court, and it could almost be a year. So it is getting to be a long time, and yeah, I don't know what to do. I wish that there was what I'm saying, last thing I want is to be live and for people to not know. But I mean, I wish there was something I could do. There is no switch that we have to not notify anybody. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all letting me know. Only thing I can do, and this is what I always say. Number one, click on the notifications. I know that there's probably 20 of your favorite YouTubers all doing something at the same time. Just go to your notifications and click on what you want to watch, even if you don't watch it at that moment, because the less that you click on something, the more the computer is going to refer you to what you actually watch. So I'm not saying that y'all aren't watching, but if y'all aren't watching, you're not going to get notifications. You know what I mean? So that's all I can say. So just take it how you take it. If you get a notification that something has posted and you want to watch it, click on it. And if you don't watch it right away, just put it in your watch later, or just, I don't know, just click on the notifications so you'll get notifications. If you don't click on notifications, you won't get notifications. I hope that makes sense. I could be totally wrong, right? But I do feel like I think I get notified about certain things all the time. And those are usually the things that I'm heavily watching. but I know I'm subscribed to lots of things, and there's plenty of things I don't get notifications about. I just happen to see that it's that there's something going on. But when I think about it, I'm like, you know what? I probably don't click on their notifications like that. You know what I mean? If you get the same notifications, just notice, are those the things that you're actually really watching, right? So I don't know. I don't know how to reset it, right? Um, Hi Houston Foodie. Hey boo, how are you? Hi, sweet aces. Thank you so much for supporting. You guys are so amazing. We're gonna do a member live soon. I feel like we did a member live last week. When was it? When was the last member live that we did? Girl, 5 days ago. Okay. I think I was in the car. I hope you guys are catching those lives. I feel like a good number of you guys do, but if you aren't catching those member lives, get into it because it's interesting. We talk about, you're not missing anything if you're not a member, but it's just additional stuff, right? So, but yeah, we'll do another one soon. If not, maybe tonight. I wanted to come live last night so bad, but I was so tired. It's track season, guys. You guys know I'm a sports mom. So, girl, sitting outside in the sun, in the damn cold weather. It was cold last week. It was absolutely freezing. All of that stuff, it just gets to be a lot. So, anyway, we got a lot going on right now, but we're live right now, so let's get into it. Let's see. Get notifications on channels that I have watched, but not so. But you know what? It doesn't matter. If you're watching it, it's going to send you notifications. So yes, you could be unsubscribed. You could be not subscribed, but watch, right? You know how sometimes you watch stuff and you're like, I thought I was subscribed because I get notifications. You don't just The computer's main goal is to get you to watch YouTube. They don't want you to go over to Netflix. They don't want you to go to Hulu. They don't want you on Tubi. They want you here. So the computer really doesn't care that you're subscribed. I'm going to be honest with you. They want you to watch. That's the main goal of the algorithm. Subscriptions don't get you watch time. Watch time lets them sell advertising, right? It's what you're going to watch. So you could not be subscribed to something, but you watch it, you're going to get a notification. I promise you. You're going to get one. You will. Track meets last at least 4 hours. I would say when you go to a track meet, just bring a girl. Why did I have a hot dog in my pocket the other day? I was like, I refuse. Now, I do support boosters. Let me preface this because I was a booster mom in middle school. Girl, I was selling popcorn, hot dogs, drinks, now laters, hot Takis, all of the things. Last year, 4 o'clock, when I'd be like, guys, I gotta go. I was over out there with my sweatshirt on and selling candy snacks to the kids. Okay. This year, when they were looking for volunteers, I just said, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just a freshman mom. I'm not doing it this year. Let someone else do it because I put my time in for 2 years, right? Um, and I was not paying $4 for a damn 50-cent hot dog. I took my ballpark beef franks out the freezer. I got a nice piece of potato bread and some ketchup and some aluminum foil and made myself 2 nice hot dogs. Okay. 2 hot dogs and rolled them up and put them right in my pocket. Okay. I, okay. I'm sorry. Also, another thing, because they don't have sauerkraut at the game. They don't have sauerkraut. And I wanted sauerkraut. So I wanted sauerkraut and I packed my hot dogs and I had them right in my pocket. Okay. Meanwhile, all I see is Farah has spent $2.50 at the boosters. So we still supported our boosters because I think Farah spent at least $10 at the concession stand buying, tea. Girl, I bring my Crystal Light packet and my own bottle of water and I had my 2 own hot dogs. I spent nothing. Well, I spent $9 to get in. Okay, let's let the record show. One thing I was going to suggest to the coach is that they sell season passes. Like, sell season passes for the parents. That way, if there's this is my thought. If there's 10 or 12 track meets and it costs $9 to get in, sell it for $75. Everybody's not going to come to every game. It doesn't cost you any more or less to fill all the seats. If people don't show up, you have prepaid at least $75 into the kitty of parents that are already paid. Like, I really feel like just sell a season pass, because some of us do come to everything and some people are not, right? Sell a season pass. Don't you like anyone who goes to all your kids' games? Sell us a season pass. And also, if your school does do season passes, send me a note and let me know how well that went over. That's my one. I don't know if they've thought of that before, but I do think that they should do that. They should sell season passes. And that way, the one-offs, you'll still make money on one-offs because there's always going to be someone to come who doesn't have a season pass. But it would be nice to just not have to stop at the line, and the season pass holders can just, you know, walk in, right? Um Girl, they should set their seats up from outside the gate. That's funny. It's possible. Yeah, we have a big campus, and I'm sure if somebody wanted to drive onto the other side of the perimeter and sit there and be on the other side of the track, they possibly could. So yeah. Mhm. Yup. I think people have, and I don't begrudge someone not spending $12, but it does help with the kids. It helps for the bus. It keeps the activity bus. It helps pay for the sports dinners. Look at me sounding like a booster club president, which I was last year. Um, the monies go for like breakout banners, different supplies for them to get new balls. It can go for uniforms. It can go, for different things. It can pay for their dinner. It can pay for their snacks. It can pay for the waters, all of those things. So, the booster club money, it really does go back for the kids, where you pay, like at the beginning of the season, we had to pay, I think 125. Was it 125 for track? Um, that's the money that just goes to the school system or whatever, just to actually play. But yeah, booster money goes like actually in the fund that gets spent on the kids. So anyway, we'll talk about that another place, another time, but let's get into this video, guys. I'm sure you guys have all seen this by now. This is the one where Nestos says that, is this the one? Hold on. Am I at the right one? Okay, there was one that came out 3 days ago. Where's the one that Nestos said that oh, he's cutting everybody off. Okay, this is it. Girl, I was like, how are you cutting everybody off when they don't cut you off? How are you cutting off? You're not cutting everybody off. They're already done with you. Okay. All right, yeah, let's get into it, guys. All right, where am I? Portia's like, yep, tell it, mom.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from.
It's rough.
What was the name? Rocky? You're not late, real 75, a real 75th. We were, girl, we talked about everything just a second ago.
This is a prepaid call from.
It's rough.
Is Rocky.
An inmate at the Cobb County Adult Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, your current balance is $34.75. This call is from a correction facility.
Shoot, that's back when Sonya used to keep a couple dollars on his phone.
Facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Still running around?
Oh, no. No, my stomach's not feeling well. I'm laying down watching movies.
Okay, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Yeah.
It happens. It's all good in the hood. How are you?
Oh, I'm just
So I wonder when she got shot. I'm assuming she must have gotten shot somewhere in her stomach or somewhere in the vicinity of her stomach, because obviously it's giving she has some sort of irritable bowel, or she just has stomach issues, and because she doesn't really like to go to the doctor, which is seems to be a reoccurring kind of theme on YouTube. There's so many people, which she's not really a YouTuber, but she's not a YouTuber at all. Let me qualify that one. It does seem to be a lot of people though who just don't seem to want to follow up and go to the doctor, but it's like, why bother go get the diagnosis then? But anyway, oh, they had to save your life. That's it. Okay, but you're not going to go back. You're just going to just deteriorate over time. But yeah, it seems to be some sort of irritable bowel syndrome or something, but I just don't know if that Alfredo hot dogs and whatever else it is that she eats actually helps her. Nesto never has that much on his account. Yeah. Well, he has less now. He used to have a little something something, right? Oh, that's Rocky's money. You're right. You're right. But, I wonder if she was feeding those accounts, putting money on those people's books for him to be able to make calls. You know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of incentive for you to use someone else's account. So it might be, let me use your account because I'm trying to hide my calls, right? And my girl will put some money on your books and you can use, you know what I mean? You can use what you want, but I just want to be able to make calls. I don't know, girl. I don't know any inmates, but I'm just assuming there has to be some sort of incentive for someone to allow you to run the risk of getting in trouble because technically you are breaking the rules by using people's accounts because the idea is that they know that you're trying to conceal calls. I mean, that would be the reason. Well, there's no other reason to use someone else's account other than not having any money, but they do, it is against the rules to use someone else's account, right?
I'll be out of the days when I wake up. When I wake up in the morning, it'll be another day. Yeah. So
You'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
You will be all right.
Okay. Tell me why I'm be all right. Let me hear that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fine. No, you'll be all right.
Oh, okay. Well, you still ain't
You
telling me
will
I'm
be
be
all
all
right.
right.
You will be all right.
Oh, okay.
You will be
Okay.
okay. Just stay healthy. That's all.
Sonia, he wanted some encouragement. He wanted you to tell him, he wanted you to give him something to hope for, but I guess she's so into the gloom and doom, she can't do it.
That's it.
That's it. Just stay healthy.
Okay. Okay.
Y'all, I mean, Nesto, she's not feeling it right now. She's probably on the toilet as you speak. She's cramping. She doesn't want it. She doesn't have any encouragement for you because she's cramping.
Another inmate. I was sitting there talking to him for a few minutes, and it blew my mind. I said, well, damn, how long you been here? He said, I've been here 4 years, man. I just came from Indiana prison. They brought me back here for a case for 32 years ago. See, I murdered someone
Ooh.
32 years ago. I said, well, how did they do that? He said, I don't know. It just had my handprint. What you call it? Not the
Uh-huh.
thumb. The middle of his handprint. 32 years ago.
Yeah, so the DNA or handprint, something caught up with him. Okay? If they got him from 32 years ago, baby, they've been waiting. The computer CODIS picked him up. That's what happened.
32 years ago?
32 years ago. And been sitting here for 4 years and still ain't got nothing. Yeah.
You be listening to them horror stories. You listen.
What do you mean he's listening to horror stories? You call him up with horror stories all the time. Can you imagine? She said he's sitting there listening to horror stories when she calls him with a never ending supply of gloom and doom stories. She has more gloom and doom stories than anybody. She's worse than damn Snapped.
Anybody that's gonna uplift you in there?
Hey,
That's
Linda. Hey,
all
boo.
around is hard service. What you talking about, ma'am?
Um,
That's the
horror
thing.
stories.
But they know what he said. He said, don't you worry. It don't matter if they indict you. Don't matter if they indict you. Because you're still innocent. You're proven guilty. I said, damn.
You are innocent. You are innocent.
And he said, and that was the killing part. He's the same age I am. Yeah. I thought he was older than me because he had no teeth in his mouth. Yep.
Because he had no what? He had no teeth in his mouth.
So, yeah. Yeah. I thought he was older than me because he had no teeth in his mouth. Yeah.
Wow, he has no teeth in his mouth.
So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's some good encouragement. And I get back over here this evening and hear these bombs talking about what they can't do. Yeah. Sad situation. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that anymore. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? You got your own Iranian war because the people I used to deal with, they think you're supposed to take care of everything, because now they think it's your fault. you do know
What
that.
fault?
You do that.
Hold on, did you
Really,
switch it back up? Are you talking about the war? Or are you talking about your situation?
my situation,
Whose fault is it?
no, hold on. They think it's your fault because they thinking that, well, she all over there talking that smack on the whatever.
Oh, that she pissed off and that cut off your money source?
No, it's not. No. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying is that if he all up in her ass, let her take care of everything. That's probably what. I know how people think. I know how they think because you said it. They think I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
everything anyway. That's why they ain't doing that. But I don't think that's the case. I think they just don't know what to do for themselves. So how they gonna do something for me? So in their mind, yeah, she gonna do it. She's so adamant about it. She gonna figure something out. That's what's in their mind. But
Oh,
we
that's what
go,
they want. That's why they barely, like, once every 2-3 weeks, they'll call and say, is he still breathing? Because they know I'm talking to you. So, oh, he good. He got her. She holding it down.
yeah, that I know that's what they. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk to them no more. Thank you.
Well, we can't tell because between November 3rd of 2023 and let's just even say last year, you still talk to the people. You were still talking to whoever you were talking to, at least the couple that we know, at least Dre and your son. So, okay, like you did talk to them at least for a couple more years. So, I mean, I don't know. I would think he was at least talking to them for another little bit. And sir, stop.
I think it should be a group effort. It shouldn't be no all on. You know what I'm saying? And I told him today, I said, look, it's sad that I'm the newest member in this situation, that I just came around, that I'm not even like, before this happened, man, was cool and close because of my illness and how he was there for me, checking on me all the time because I was sick and screwed up. And like, I said, but it just doesn't make sense to me that all of y'all just are barely like, y'all do the least. Like, it's crazy to me. And y'all even say it out your mouth. Y'all know he innocent. Y'all know he didn't do it. Okay, so it's one thing if a person is guilty, then you be like, you know what, he did that shit. Fuck it. I get that. But you're saying out your mouth. All of y'all are saying the same thing. We know he didn't do that.
Well, I'm going to just go back to what I said a couple of weeks ago. Sonia, your theory about the essay victim is that she has to be full of shit because she lives in a city where her family is. They're all gangsters and thugs. And nobody helped her and she was homeless on the street. And she must be an ain't shit ass person, right? So Nesto is in jail in his city. Okay. Yeah, okay. He's in Cobb County, not Fulton County, but he's a Fulton County inmate in Cobb County, which isn't anywhere. It's not like he's 10 states, so it's not like he's in Kentucky. He's in the next county over. Nobody has been there to see him but the random ex-neighbor who went twice, Mr. Daryl and Sonia. Not one person, not even his wife at the time, not his best friend at the time, not his son. The streets tell it. One of his daughters was up in there visiting somebody else. Nobody has checked in to see this man in all of this time. So I'm going to just apply Sonia's theory on the essay victim to Nesto then. If your family isn't even trying to do nothing for you or with you, then they must have those same thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't make any sense how nobody can send $20 and nobody is coming to visit and all of those things unless they just don't care. Maybe they care enough to make a phone call because they know you're taking care of everything. And considering that you act like Captain Save-A-Ho, maybe that's why. It's like, well, why do I need to bother? And especially when you talk to Sonia on the phone, not that I've ever talked to Sonia because I haven't. But at the end of the day, Sonia seems like that type of person. You can't even share ideas with her. You can't have a conversation with her. The minute she gets going, she's going to railroad the whole entire conversation. So there's no point in talking to her. So all she wants is people to send money. And when you have people who have to really work hard, everybody doesn't make a big salary. I don't know what those people make, but there are people who have to work very hard for what a lot of us may take for granted. Okay. And his daughter is a single mother. I don't know what Dion got going on, but at the end of the day, everybody doesn't have it like that. And if you do have disposable income, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? People feel like you getting two hots in a cot. You know, they might feel like you get two hots in a cot, you got your uniform, you got a bed, and you should be good. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I can't really give like what I would do. But you know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy. I'm still stuck on, I'm still in shock that nobody, not even Dre, the best friend on a Sunday, and I'm going to preface this before the calls or videos got released, right? I'm talking pre-internet invasion, right? Nobody but Daryl came, and no one but Daryl came. No one. So, I mean, it's just a testament, again, applying Sonia's theory to ain't shit ass individual. If that's that, it flies to me. It actually, it actually tracks that, some people don't mind talking, but as far as putting some action to the words, no, they're going to just let you do
We
everything.
know he didn't do that. We know he innocent. But you're still not trying to help.
Yeah, but Daryl at least came. You know what I mean? Like, we can't discount that at the end of the day, Daryl came. Now, whether Daryl did anything or not, I feel like that's okay. He didn't have to do anything. To me, Nesto made decisions to be where he's at. You know what I'm saying? I think Nesto, as a grown-up, over 50-year-old man, has made decisions to be in the position that he's in. And the bottom line is, I think Daryl showed up. I think that is on par with the many phone calls that Dre talked to him a bunch, and that's fine. And Daryl showed up at least, 2 times, Now, did Daryl take his calls? I think he was calling Daryl and Daryl never responded. because Daryl probably wasn't trying to be on no jail phone call. And he probably never anticipated that he would end up, didn't he? Maybe he talked to Daryl one time on the phone. So let me take that back. I think he talked to Daryl one, maybe two times on the phone. I think it might be in members. But yeah, it was maybe like 5 minutes, Justin's mom. In all fairness, I think he stayed for about 5 minutes. But he still came. That's my point. You got a daughter and a son, and nobody came.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
That's what's crazy
exactly.
to me.
So I just don't want to talk no more with them. I'm good on that. That's all I'm gonna say.
You
Cause
good?
Nesto called him nosy after. You see how Nesto pushes people away? Okay. Not that Daryl needed to come back. Daryl did his good deed. He came, he checked on him. That was that, right? Dre has done his part, you know. Nesto is just a very ungrateful, bitter narc. Okay. That's Nesto. He's an ungrateful, bitter narc. I had someone, it's in my comments. You remember someone came to the comments today. Remember that video of Shirley on her birthday? It may have been the last birthday where she had that cute black and white little set on, some matching pants and a shirt, black and white checkers, and she's walking looking very happy. Someone commented today that she needed to put on a better bra and that these 70-year-old women aren't fooling anybody. They still want some dick. And I was thinking to myself, and what's the problem? She's single. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, ma'am is single. She's single. She can do what she wants to do. I was thinking to myself, Sonia, would you go sit your ass down somewhere hating because you weigh 76 pounds? You weigh 76 and Shirley is over here giving body and you're mad. Okay. I was just the first thing I thought when I read that comment, I was like, Sonia, would you go somewhere? You want to be seen so bad. Okay.
it's just too many lies. It's too many lies. It's too many, like I done called them all. Every last one of them things is a lie. I got this conversation here. I got to go to this and that. You're lying. Everybody lying. I don't want to hear that. I just don't want. All you doing is trying to be messy. I don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Then it gets you all upset.
Go ahead, ask my cousin.
What?
My cousin called me. She got off work.
Oh.
Okay. My bad. I should have had y'all on mute. Portia's bark. She's having a moment right now. So he feels, so this is the thing. If you felt like people were just trying to be messy, how about this? When Dre called you, right? And said, they took my voice. They took my voice and they said that they called you nasty Nesto. And why were you sitting there laughing with him? When Dre was being messy, okay? Dre was being messy. And when he was being messy, you sat there and laughed along with it. And what they call you, Nesto? And he said, they call me nasty Nesto. You was having a kiki. So why are you going to be mad? Why are you being mad? Because you feel like people were being messy. Now, in fairness to your son, I mean, he tried to tell you on numerous occasions to watch your back and that ma'am wasn't right. He tried to tell you that ma'am was not right and you need to watch your back with her and that this is not going to go well for you if, based on what he's hearing and seeing, he told you to watch your back. Okay? This is all, to me, this is all your fault. This is all Nesto doesn't have anybody to blame but himself about all of this. That's all. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. So, yeah, it didn't get you all upset, throw it all off track, mad, and no, that's all it is. That's what that's all about to me. So no, don't share no more information with these people.
I already blocked such and such, and what's his name? I could block him too. I mean, I feel like there's no reason for them to talk to me.
You said there's no reason to block him?
No reason to talk to me. I feel like there's no reason for them to talk to me at this point.
No, it's not.
Because
It's not.
Where I'm so grown from is he said, listen closely. He said, I don't know why he did that and asked her I already told him if he gave up the 5 and wanted his money back, I would have sold something and gave it back to him. I'm sitting here like, why don't you just sell it and pay for the thing then? Why would that? Okay. I ain't say nothing. I just like, wow. So you could sell something and get the 5. Because that's what you just said. But you want him to do, he calling her. Now he's backing out. And you're saying, oh, well, I would have just sold something and gave it back to him if he gave it and wanted his money back. So you're saying you have something to get the 5. And it's been 2-3 weeks since I've asked both of y'all.
This is my thing. This is just a calamity of brokies, okay? Or wanna be something. I don't know. Or just maybe this is just how scams operate. I don't know. But to me, if you got to, something, there's an emergency, at this point, Shirley obviously was not factored in. So we're not even going to throw that out there. But at the end of the day, people who have to go like run and go sell something, I don't even understand what that means, which I obviously I'm assuming something of value, right? Um, what? What? I thought you had people riding around in Mulsanes and Bentleys and all of these things, and someone doesn't have. I thought these were people who would have $5,000 like in their pocket. I mean, that's how they seem to act, right? Lamont seems to want to act like he's got all kinds of cash in his pocket, but whether it was Lamont or Dion or whomever, I don't know, but it's just giving a bunch of brokies.
To go find $5,000.
Wow.
Exactly. So I'm sitting here like, really?
Yeah, really, really, really.
I was like, really?
But that
Like,
big one, though, that big one. I asked them, if I do this for this, man, that was the biggest lie. That was the biggest. I said to myself, boy, anybody could see that. Anybody could see through
I
that.
don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. You know better. I just don't. I don't know these
I know
people.
on the phone with you. Oh, don't worry about nobody else. I'm going to take care of everything you need. You
But
heard me
you know
say
what?
that?
They don't want you to call that often because they don't want to pay for it. Because they know, you know what I'm saying? Just like when he said, he gave me $100 for your phone or for your commissary back in January. And then he was like, that $50 he gave, what, a couple months ago?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep getting, you ain't called to say, is you all right? You need
No.
anything? Nothing. Like, nothing. And what's the name? Talking about, oh, I got 200 and I'll put it on. And when they run out, they just run out. But you ain't ran into nobody to get to do no 200. And you said you didn't have any, you ain't made no attempt to run into nobody. You know what I'm saying? You could have called and I would have been like, go here and take it to my daughter. Cause I'm out of town and she could sell it to me. You know?
These people are such bums. Why can't you Cash App? Why can't you why do you need to give it to why do you need to run it to somebody's job for them to Zell it? Why can't you just Zell it? Why don't you just Zell it? Why don't you just Cash App it? Why don't you I don't know. Figure it out. This is stupid. And I'm going to just say this, 150 is better than absolutely nothing. 150 is better than nothing.
Like,
I don't care who hear this shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I feel like this was very timely. I'm glad Phone Calls from Prison put this out now. Because had they heard this 2 years ago, then maybe the calls would have stopped sooner. But, we know that Dre was really hurt and upset after hearing what he did hear. Because Nesto has been low-key ungrateful for a long time. But at the end of the day, Sonia, you were interfering. because you two were on the phone so much. Nobody probably could get a call in anyway. Like you stayed on the phone with that man. Okay? You were on the phone with that man so much nobody else could get a call in. So the bottom line is I guess they did feel like you had it. And he was acting like you were doing everything for him and nobody else was needed. No one else was needed. You had it. And that was, people could just go on with whatever they wanted to do. You had it. Handy girl. I'm going to go ahead and let Handy girl take care of it. Okay? Because you acted like you damn near were a lawyer, which we all know that you're not, but you were acting like that. And he felt like you could provide him the attention that he wanted. And you believe in him and providing him alibis and storylines and explanations and all kinds of stuff, prayer partners, you're just providing everything. Yeah.
None of that shit, because I'm telling the truth. So fuck them. That's exactly how I feel. That's what
This
they
shit
said.
is just
That's what they said about me.
right. That's what
they
they're
said.
doing. I mean,
Fuck me. So this shit gonna turn around again. Oh man. Okay. But that's alright. Like I said, whatever gonna happen, gonna happen. Fuck it.
no, because I don't know. Cause when it's all over and done with, they blocked on my number, so unless you find them, I don't know how that's
I
gonna
ain't
work.
looking for nobody. Man. Listen, man. I'm not looking for shit. I really don't give a fuck, be honest with you. I don't give a damn they fall on the curb. I don't. Once you crawl me one time like this here, I give you the benefit of the doubt so many times. And I don't want to believe the lies. You know what I'm saying? I don't want like, damn, did you just say that out your mouth? Then I'm listening at you 3 weeks later. Oh, they said they sent that in a text. Man, them folks don't even text like that. I just said, where these lies coming from like this right here? These is unnecessary lies. You get what I'm saying? And you know
Yeah.
folks said that they out of the game. Why would you go back and ask?
Why would you even call?
Thank you. Unless you talk
Why would you even call?
unless you talk
And you
about
already know, right, that too. And you already know that has nothing to do with that person because I even broke it down how it was papered. So you didn't even have to ask her anything. Anything.
Nothing.
Right, because you know her name ain't on nothing. So what are you even talking about? And I'm like, wait a minute, I already explained to you her name wasn't on nothing. So what are you even talking about? Well, I had to call and why? I didn't show anything.
Man.
Yeah, but you know, they still me. I said that is not an issue.
She's so salty about Shirley. It's like she's just a bold side piece.
Unless he's dead. If he's dead, then you go to her. That's when that comes into play. He ain't dead. He's not unconscious. He's not on life support. Therefore, she has no say so unless it's something that's joint or her. That's it.
That is it.
That's it, James. Yeah.
Wow.
So all of that was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Unless he forgot that. If he was seriously telling the tale, he forgot that me and him had that part of the conversation already, because that was the main reason.
The main reason. And I ain't even got to be there. And I'm going to call and pick that shit up.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, I was just like, okay, that's fine. Because I kept thinking if they wanted to, they would call. I wouldn't have to call them. And it's been 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks Monday. I wouldn't have to call them. So by them not calling, that told me something. Just like you said, well, he never called. He didn't call the next day, the day after that. I called him 3 days later. So I'm like, he's not. Because if he was, he would call and be like, okay, what's the play? What do you need? You know, can I meet with the attorney? You know,
They ain't did none of that.
And it was a no-go. So it's fine.
But really, what I'll be honest with you, then we're gonna go to something else. The biggest thing really hurt me was I sent 3 letters. One pouring my heart out, letting Junior know, keep your head up, all the good shit to keep you going. Nigga didn't even read that letter.
How does he know that Junior didn't read that letter? How does he know that? I feel like there was a call where Nesto asked him, "Did you read the letter?" And I think he said he hadn't read it yet. But I don't know if that was the one that he had written to Crail when he was mad, or like you said, this is the one pouring his heart out or whatever. I mean, maybe he's just not into it, you know? I mean, what Nesto has to realize is that you didn't come around till he was 13 years old. Maybe he doesn't feel the same way you do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you're his dad, but maybe I don't know. I don't have any experience to draw from in this area other than clearly the energy is not being matched. Okay.
That's the killing part. He didn't read none of them. So then right there, I'm done. I'm done with that.
Yeah, I asked him, did he read it? He said he didn't read it.
I know he didn't. I know he did. I know he did. That was a waste of time. So fuck it.
And I don't, right, and I can't comment to him about, because I don't know him, so I can't be like, go in on him. I from my understanding, I thought y'all were
We all
son, father, best friend. That's how I thought the relationship was.
That's
Because you could be
exactly.
relatives and just be cool, or you could be best friends and relatives, or you could just be related. You know, or we just related. So I thought y'all were best friends, relatives. I mean, best friends, son and father.
Yes.
So I didn't say nothing because that would be, I never been around you two. So again, I didn't want to say anything, but I did, I didn't want to go in on them about it because it's not my place. But I did like say, why didn't you get the letter and stuff to me?
Yeah. That's all
Why
right.
didn't he just send it to you? I said, well, I don't know. He wanted you. He wanted you to have the letter. So I don't know.
If he would have read it, it would have made common sense to him. But that shit don't mean nothing to them because all they think about is what's on the internet. That's all. That's all they thinking about right now. What's on?
You mean the YouTube shit?
Yeah, that's all they think about now. How is it affecting them? They don't give a fuck what the fuck I'm talking about right now. They don't give a fuck about dead or alive.
That thing's down because they're on there like twice. That's it. The only person going in on is her still, trying to find some type of way to still talk about her. Although they haven't talked about her new contract, but they still, want to say something about that. And then I heard my sister sent me a new phone call between me and you.
Okay, so lots to unpack there. So Nesto seems to think that he's best friends with his son. Okay, well, obviously not when the chips are down. You know what I mean? Maybe, look, I don't know. I have no idea. All we know is what we've seen, and what we've seen is what we've seen. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's all. Which has been not a lot, but Dion has been an ear. He has listened. He has offered advice, and he has came through a few times. I don't have a total. I don't have a grand total on it, but again, can't really measure because there's people out here who've done nothing. I don't know that Laverte has ever sent 5 cents, but that you can't tell Nesto anything about his sister. You know what I'm saying? I mean, his daughter. You know what I'm saying? So she is a single mom and she might need every penny that she makes. She works hard for her money. Whenever he's called her, she has to be on a specific type of break. She clearly has a job where she can't just be on the phone like that. So we don't really know. Everybody doesn't have extra money. Plus, she's got kids, and that money may need to go to her children, right? That's what we as parents work for, not to try to get your dad who can't seem to keep his ass out of trouble. So I don't blame her. I don't blame Dion either. I mean, Dion did whatever he could do, So I don't know. Nesto seems to have he seems to be very entitled with these people. And I wonder, would it have been reciprocated had they been away? You know what I'm saying? Would Nesto have been running up to the jail to go see Dion? Was Nesto making sure his account was loaded down with enough money to make his phone calls and eat and talk to the people he needed to talk to in the event that he ever got arrested? I do not know. Was he there for Dre? I think maybe Dre, I don't know if he was there for Dre like that or not. I think he was to a certain degree, and I guess Dre's been there for him. I don't know. All I know is it's the 2020s now. It's the 2020s, and the bottom line is that people have what they have and they don't have what they don't have. So Sonya loves to try to be up in everybody's pockets and talk about what everybody should do. Meanwhile, a bitch ain't perfect, right? Okay.
Yesterday. It was nothing. It was nothing. I mean, we don't talk about anything. It was me at the airport. And then I was talking about going out with Frail, and he changed the appointment time because we supposed to meet at a restaurant, and we went to another restaurant instead. That's about January. So right after that is when he lied. I was like, I'm straight talking to you. But yeah, that's all that's on there. But you don't know, but you and me know, you know what I'm saying? That we fuck Babs Krill. So yeah. But that's it. I mean, it wasn't nothing. I mean, nothing the conversation, nothing, but it wasn't like a flirty conversation because we'd only had a couple of those in the very beginning. So the duration of those after that are just conversations.
That is it.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
It's a comment right now, you could tell he loved her and his wife.
What?
Yeah, that's a comment. You could tell he loved her and not the wife. But they say I get on their nerves.
No.
So
But
I don't care.
But you called to ask for some money. That shit's stupid to me. Man, that was the biggest lamest excuse ever. Wow. But it's okay. I'm good on that. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about what them folk got. Hey, man, don't tell them nothing about me. I done croaked off. I'm gone. That man said, fuck it. So don't do it however you got to do it. I don't want to talk to them folks ever again. Never, ever again. Can you do that for me?
I block him. I can't call me no more. So that's that.
I'm good on that, man. I'm good on that. So if I get out, I'm going to keep my favorite going. But it's going to be a long.
I mean, after hearing this, because we at least know that someone in relation to Dion, whether it's the girlfriend, the mama, somebody out here is listening. You know what I'm saying? And well, lots of somebodies are out here listening. If they didn't feel a way before, I'm sure they feel a way now. You know what I'm saying? I croaked off. I don't ever want to talk to them again. They didn't do that. And they can't stand Sonya. Okay. Okay. So I do think, I feel like, even though we've talked about this before, the whole Craig Lewis thing and the legal fees, I feel that was like a whole nother scam in and of itself, which I guess it technically wasn't necessarily a scam, but the way he was trying to get Shirley to pay for the full legal bill was just absolutely so manipulative. So she is lucky that she got away with what she got, that she was able to get away when she did. And even though she did spend a large sum of money, and Crail, got away with basically collecting attorney's fees for not really doing much work. Um, that's because there was just two idiots, involved in it. But when she said we had two flirty conversations, like, what does that mean, Sonia? Like, is that so? Remember when she said that her and Nesto only had a couple of flirty conversations, but we know that there were plenty more. I mean, if she says her and Crail were having flirty conversations, what does that mean? Were y'all phone sexing or something? Because I mean, her idea of a flirty conversation um is up for debate. And what Sonia will ever cop to is also up for debate. So the fact that she's copping to a couple of flirty conversations with Crail, you said 304. The fact that she's actually copping to, oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We had such a nice weekend. Thank you. Thank you. Um, it was our anniversary this weekend, guys. We had such a nice time. So thank you for all the anniversary wishes. Um, the fact that she's copping to two flirty conversations with Crail to me is like,
Oh,
okay.
I see that right now. Wish I already knew that. Yeah. It's gonna be a long motherfucking road. I'll probably be big as a house by the time I get out this motherfucker.
Really?
What you say?
I mean, it's been a long road so far. I think this is going to be the short end of the stick.
You think I'm gonna be the short end of the stick?
It's been a long road coming to this point. But I think on this end, I think it's going to be a shorter situation because now the clock is ticking, and just like the judge said, how come y'all need to indict him? You got all this, that, and the other, coming to court with your chest out, saying all of this stuff. So go ahead,
Yeah.
and this is the thing: if you got a recorded conversation of this supposedly victim when y'all interviewed her, and you talking about, oh, she's so scared. How can you talk about, oh, she's scared to come to court when, one, y'all know damn well that's a lie. Two, when y'all been listening to his phone conversations for a year and some months. This man don't talk to nobody but his son and me and freaking what's the name?
Yeah.
Right. So who's his muscle? Like, who's reaching out and touching somebody? Like, who's doing that? Because ain't nobody breaking the law. So who's reaching out and touching somebody while y'all sitting here with the bullshit? So they went to court with that as a lie. On top of the other lies they keep telling.
Well.
So I feel like they got to come with it. And
Well, we have the word. The word gonna be at the end anyway. They gonna knock us off the planet anyway. So shit.
Call was cut short due to a lot of talk about war. Okay. All right. Gloom and doom. The happy gloom and doom couple. Girl, a mess. An absolute damn mess. There is another call, but maybe we'll do that one later tonight, or we'll save it for like tomorrow or something, because that one is much longer, and we've already been almost like we'll be here for like over, girl, we'd probably be here for another hour and a half. And it's already 2:30. Girl, gloom and doom forever. Okay. But any of you guys coming in a little bit later after the call started, a few of you had questions about what was going on with the next court date. All I can do is look at the docket, and the docket is still saying 4:15. Now, that's 3 weeks from tomorrow. Anything can happen between now and 3 weeks as far as, is the court date happening? Is it not happening? You know what I'm saying? All I know is what's on the docket. You know what I mean? I don't know anything different. I know that there have been some things said potentially about the docket, but I have not heard that firsthand. And all I know is what's on the docket. There's always somebody that thinks they know something that's, you know, I'm not in those bushes. You know what I mean? If somebody got something from someone else and they got it from the bushes, the unsubstantiated, not on the docket bushes, baby, I was like, where's that? I don't know. I can't answer for that. I don't know them folks. You know what I mean? I don't know them like that. And then the other one, I'm not friends with them. So I don't know what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to that person. So I don't know what's going on. Other than, like I said, what is on the docket. And what's on the docket says 415. Now, could that get changed? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when I get an alert, I will let you guys know. I'm tired of them playing with our emotions. It's not about us, Frandrew. Frandrew, your haircut. That little Dutch boy bob. I wish that you could make your picture into a GIF and activate your bob. You guys see on like Instagram when people start activating their bob. I wish that you could do a GIF of activating that bob. That is what I want to see. They do. I mean, it is nerve wracking because we don't know what's going to happen when. But I don't know. It's 3 weeks from tomorrow is court. Um, no, I am not. No one asked me, but I am not heading to Atlanta. No, I'm not. Also, school's still in, all of that stuff, and then mm-mm, I won't be going to Atlanta. Not anytime soon. Not until I know that I know that I know that something is occurring. I do not have time to play around. So, and just from my experience here in Charlotte, you could go to the courthouse. You could look up on the docket and see everything all set up. Okay, I'm headed out. Get to the courthouse. Get to the courthouse. Look on the visual feed down in the lobby. Get upstairs, and baby, courtroom has changed. Judge has changed. Pulled it from the docket. Like, you have to. One thing that I really I had to have my phone in my hand, and I had to be logged into the e-portal when I was at court last week, because the bulk of what I went to go see didn't even happen. Pretty much everything I went to see did not happen. So 3 cases didn't get called that day that were supposed to be called. They got rescheduled for 2 weeks later. And then the other case, they called it on the docket, but the inmate didn't come from across the street because they only had one update. And the update was that it wasn't going to be a capital case, or that they weren't going for the death penalty, and that they were going to see that case in 2 weeks when those other 2 cases are going to be called. So I went, I could have felt like, oh, you went all the way downtown for nothing, but they did call a bunch of other interesting cases that I did not plan on going to see. But all of these cases actually ended up hitting the news here, and I got to see all those people live, get their sentences. There were a bunch of plea deals that happened on that day. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not, what I learned on that day is that it's not out of the ordinary for stuff to be shifted around, moved, and it really doesn't necessarily have anything to do with that particular inmate or that particular case. It could just be whatever the set of circumstances are. Maybe somebody got caught up in court. Maybe they just don't have time to see you later. And the court is like, maybe you're being seen in the morning, but you'd rather, you're in a case or something. You have a hearing that takes precedence or something like that. There's lots of stuff going on in the courthouse at the same time. So stuff does happen. Dates aren't set in stone. Absolutely. So anything can happen. And we know that we've been waiting And when we're docket watching, right? Um, I just don't think now if this is my hope, right? That they'll go into court and they'll do a status and they will pull everything that needs to be settled, all of the open items, and Judge Dunaway, maybe between now and 3 weeks, will have already ruled on the open motions, because there are still some motions that have not been ruled on. My hope is that between now and 3 weeks that he will rule on those, right? Because they've had arguments for them. There were several different things. Like one specifically is there was a motion maybe in September where Wooten requested that they merge the PGR and the strawberry indictment into the RICO. That's never been settled, right? Okay, right now it's three separate cases. They have not added the strawberry indictment and the PGR indictment. Those two new indictments that yielded from the motion to suppress debacle, those have not been added into the RICO. That still hasn't been settled. Okay. That's one, right? Another one is there was a whole demurs thing, which I think the demurs kind of rolled into the motion to suppress. So there were a couple things with that. Um, there were a few other things. The main thing obviously was the motion to suppress, but nonetheless, there are still some open-ended items, not to mention they're not going to have trial, let's say trial were to begin, which it's not. They would have to be selecting a jury, right? Um, and they would be going through the whole voir dire process and all of those things. They just haven't finished pre-trial yet. So they've got a trial like date holder, but I just don't think it's going to be trial. But maybe on that day, will they schedule trial? Maybe they should have titled it a scheduling conference. I don't know enough about um Fulton County, but it doesn't seem like things get labeled as they should always appropriately, and that the docket is as detailed as it could be. I mean, when you see some counties, when you go to their dockets and they've got docket notes and they give you so much information about what happened in court, you may not have seen the hearing, but there's very concise notes right there that tells you, okay, this happened. The inmate, they were in custody. The defendant was there. The defendant wasn't there. They're in custody. They're not in custody. They'll tell you what was discussed, what motions are pending. The judge ordered this. Next court date is that. I mean, it's giving you a nice, concise snapshot of what happened in court on that day. It is so nice to go to dockets and see that, because it gives you at least an idea of what occurred, right? Because we don't always get the privy of seeing the video or audio of what happened in court, like court TV and law and crime, and whomever is not always in the courtroom, but there's not always a presence, right? So, but yeah, Fulton County, baby, nothing, no notes, no nothing. Uh, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I'm not, I don't even want, make no mistake, it's not that I think that's what's going to happen, but let's just look a couple of weeks ago with Jarvis Butts. Jarvis, when I looked at his MDOC, his jacket of like all of his crimes and his time spent in Michigan Department of Corrections, I didn't realize that all of his time, which is not that it's been numerous, but were all plea deals. He went in on guilties, and right. And we know that about Nesto. Nesto doesn't seem to have ever been adjudicated guilty, like by verdict. It's always been some sort of negotiated or non-negotiated plea. It's always been some sort of I'm not going to trial, right? So would that be out of the ordinary for Nesto to cut a deal or take a deal? No, because he's every all his jail career has been deals. Well, I don't want to say that. Let me rewind that back. All of his jail dispositions have been pleas of guilty. He has never been found guilty by a jury. He has always copped a guilty, right? And you can fact check on that. Also, Will Wooten submitted that whole entire paper, that whole entire brief on his recidivist briefing about his criminal past and all of the plea deals that he has been extended. Okay. So that could be a reason why he wouldn't take a plea because he might not get a deal. But if he wants to just go ahead and plead guilty and get the hell up out of there, because maybe just in his mind, he's tired of sitting there, right? For almost 4 years. Maybe he wants to just try his luck at a non-negotiated and see what the judge gives him. Because I don't know that Will Wooten's trying to cut him any deals, but maybe Will Wooten is trying to clear his desk because you know that Will Wooten is running for judge. He's running for a seat. You guys might have seen this on Facebook. Hold on. It's on Facebook. Hold up. Uh Hold on. In his signature blue suit. Y'all, I wish this was bigger so I could actually read it. Today I am officially launching my campaign. So this is March 5th. Today I'm officially launching my campaign for Georgia Court of Appeals. I've spent my career standing up for the rule of law and the constitutional rights of Georgians, first as a defense attorney protecting individuals' rights and freedoms, and now as a veteran prosecutor taking on violent crimes, sexual predators, corruption, and organized crime networks. Our court must apply the law fairly and equally, no matter who you are or how powerful you may be. That's why I'm running. Hold on a second. Girl. Because in Georgia, justice should never depend on power, position, or political influence. That sounds like something Fonnie Willis would say. Okay. No offense. I'm just saying that just sounds like something my girl Fonnie would say. Okay. So we don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he signed into the book. I don't know what that, so he's signing his paperwork. Look at his little sign, guys. Okay. Now, what does this mean for Nesto? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Oh God, lock up this fool and you got my vote. Okay. I think what day is voting day? I think it's May. Let me see. What day did it say? Oh no, did I lose my thing? I think I hit the back button one too many times. Was it May 15th? It might be May 15th. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what that means for anything. Are they trying to, get some cases? Like, I don't know. I don't even want to make assumptions. What We're just going to see what happens. And, also keep in mind the DA's office is not comprised of one DA. Just like at the beginning, who was the first DA that we saw who was managing Nestos' case? It was Jonathan Salmon. We saw Kevin Majeski. We've seen Will Wooten. So at the end of the day, I mean, DA offices are busy. We even see judges rotate. That's not out of the ordinary. When you're in small places where there only might be one or two judges, okay. But when you're in a big city like Atlanta where there's lots of judges rotate their assignments. They might be here for a period of time, allocated to one court, and then they may go to another court. DAs rotate into different areas to give, someone may have a particular interest in a specific area of crime. They might be in sex crimes, but they have an interest in white collar. You just never know. So you can't really, like, the fact of it's the state of Georgia versus Ernest Williams. It's not Will Wooten against Ernest Williams. You know what I'm saying? Whether Will Wooten is there or not, the state of Georgia is still prosecuting Will Wooten. Still prosecuting Ernest Williams. So whether Will is running for a seat, that doesn't negate the fact that the state of Georgia still has business with Ernest Williams to account for. That's the way I put it. He has done he did the heavy lift. He won the battle of the suppression. He has submitted some hellified briefs, and it's basically teed up right now, and all of the evidence is there. So according to them, they've been ready to go, right? 2 years. It's almost been 2 years. What is this March now? It's March. Next month will be 2 years ago where they dropped the RICO. And when they went to court, I don't even know now when that was. June, July of 24. Wooten said he was ready to go. He said he was ready to go. Roberto delayed it a whole damn year. Okay. Okay. Anywho, you guys, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys comment down below. Make sure to comment. Make sure to hit the thumbs up. If you guys want to do the other video and talk about this some more, if there's some other things you guys want to talk about, let me know. Let's see. Nestor is just like Whoopi told Molly. You in danger, girl. Molly who? Is that in a movie? Like Whoopi told Molly, you in danger, girl. Hi, Keonce. Hey, boo. If you want to talk about something, you have a question, let me know. I don't know. I'm curious to know, is Will running and still sitting in his seat, or did he take a leave of absence from his, like, I don't know. I don't want to start any rumors or anything like that. I haven't seen any leave of absence posted. There's no leave of absence on record, and there's no entry of any different DA to the case. Not that I don't even know that they have to do that, because again, it's the state of Georgia against Ernest versus Ernest Williams. So the state can send whatever representative they choose to have on the case, I would imagine. So I don't know. Anyway, but you guys comment your questions down below. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me, because it matters. It really, really does. No, Joey usually shows up in the chat, so I don't hear from Joey outside of him showing up to our chat or him commenting or something. So, if you guys drop some comments or something like that, he might come out the bushes. I don't know. Do you have a question for Joey? If you have a question for Joey, leave it down below and I'll bubble it up. But yeah. That's it. Oh, that's from Ghost. Okay. But yeah. Okay, you guys. Love you. Mean it. Hold on a second. Someone mentioned this earlier, so let me somebody mentioned this earlier.
Okay then. Okay then.
What that mean? In 2 weeks I get some?
I don't know nothing about that. I mean, I'm on record line, so I don't know what you're saying. Sorry.
She thought that was going to be her boyfriend. Okay. She thought she was going to talk to him real reckless and seductive. Okay. She really thought she was going to have a juicy conversation with this man on video chat. And it didn't go that way.
Okay then. Okay then.
What that mean? In 2 weeks I get some?
I don't know nothing about that. I mean, I'm on record line, so I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. I can't even get to that far. Nothing about that. I mean, I'm on record line, so I don't know what you're saying. Sorry. I can't even get to that far. Yeah. Sorry. Yep. So anyway.
Wow. That was the beginning of girl, you wasted your money. Girl, why? You wasted your money and you're wasting your time. Why are you bothered with this man? Why don't you leave that lady's husband alone? Why don't you just leave that lady's husband alone? And you should have known. Look how wrinkled up her face got dealing with this dude. And then she was so happy to be on the phone with him. And then look what's happened over the years. Okay? A mess. And that's her own fault. Okay, you guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a good afternoon. And I'll see you guys.
But me, I get dogged out all the way around. Nasty Nesto. I'm telling folks, man, I ain't dead man with these folks, man. Hold on, no.
What's your name, Nestos? What's your name, Nestos? You know what? You know what?
What?
It's funny that you said that you just brought back some memories. So when you said that, when I told you, I think on a couple phone calls back, remember I told you, I said, you know what they call you right here? Yeah, you said what? And I said they call you Nasty Nestos, right? However I said it. So they don't took my voice.
I can speak to that. As to 23 CP 215407 at our last hearing, the state did move to null process or to decline that particular case. We will just revive that case in an indictment.
What's your name, Nestos?
They call me Nasty Nesto.
What's your name, Nestos?
They call me Nasty Nesto. I ain't do.
You know what?